All right. It looks like we are established. Okay. Sound is good. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July 19th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at our new week and some of the activity that has occurred since we opened yesterday. So starting off with the obvious, we have a market that has opened quite weak, and we are seeing some increased volatility into our open for Monday. Our futures market, starting us off just with a simple overview of yesterday's price action. If we look at a 1 hour, platform's a little slow on me today. We can see that we opened last night and we saw some continued downside from a pretty weak close on Friday. A lot of our sectors into Friday closed poorly. We had a couple of risk off sectors starting to hold or starting to rally. And if you've watched Brian's weekly market recap, he kind of covered this whole change or a lot of red flags starting to show up in the market. So we're starting with a weak open. We have the ES coming down sharply, and some of our fear aspects are starting to really show themselves quite clearly. We have the volatility index up over 20. And from a weekly perspective, what's notable about this is we are starting to breach the 200 period moving average on this index. Now, we've opened and closed above this area on the daily before, but a lot of these have been spikes inside of this index, leading to significant lows in the market. As we are opening this week in this position, obviously a little bit of a cautionary position, we want to see the market either settle and have the VIX once again decline to repeat a familiar pattern, or be aware that this could be something much larger starting to form. So we'll keep our sort of wits about us, and we'll see if this volatility holds into the close today, if we start to get significant volatility to the upside, or if, like other spikes in volatility, we'll see this start to fade or decline over the next couple days. We have things like the dollar, which the dollar has been in a position of sort of, I would say, decision, or us trying to understand whether this significant high made back in November the 23rd of last year, whether this significant high was something that was about to be breached. It seemed as if the dollar was consolidative. It was holding from an impulsive breakout move. And this sort of risk factor was another element of caution in a marketplace that was still making new all-time highs. Finally, we also have interest rates, which, as we've spoken about interest rates, we've talked about some of the pros and cons based around different portions of the market, and the fact that a lot of tech, a lot of growth, a lot of, I would say, sectors that do not like to see inflation, they often can have significant catalysts based around the interest rates declining, especially if they're declining in a sort of slow and steady manner. but oftentimes the momentum of the rise or the decline can also affect the structure of the market. Usually you do not want to see people flooding to something like bonds because that is, once again, more of a risk-off approach to the market, and moving the bond market itself is quite a capital-intensive endeavor. It's a very large marketplace to change. So as the 10-year is rising, bring this down just to see the pre-market action, we have something like the TLT starting to break out once again. So our bond market is in a state of momentum, and something like the ZB, which is going to be the 30-year futures, U.S. Treasury futures, this is starting to break through our 200 period moving average on the daily, along with our 10-year just at the ZN this time, hitting and potentially breaching that area as well. So we obviously have a market that's trying to give us some clues as to whether the strength we've been seeing has been more or less a little bit of a false signal for continued upside. And some of the clues have been in these more correlated, I would say, areas of the market, things that are a little bit risk averse. But we've also seen weakness in the marketplace itself. We know that energy is having a lot of trouble trying to catch itself after crude and some of the, I would say, uncertainty around OPEC has led to a decline in energy stocks. Both XLE and XOP giving us a picture of how significant these drops are. And while we might look at charts very often and say, oh, well, that's just, breaking the 50, it's nothing too notable, we've been here before in a couple of months past, keep in mind that these are approximately 20% declines. So when people talk about the idea of bear markets or correction versus something like a crash, usually they talk in relative percentages from high to low. The energy market is approaching roughly a 20% decline from its highs, specifically in the XOP, and even the XLE, I believe, is getting to that point. So yes, these declines have been seen before, these price levels have been seen before, but the perception of them and the fact that we've come from an area of strength now into weakness shows how significant these declines have been. It's also true that some of our stronger sectors back when the interest rates were holding or rising are starting to once again show signs of weakness. Financials has been one that we've spoken about quite often. And with financials and the weakness in financials across the board, we have stuff like IWM, which is probably one of the more interesting technical areas on the chart, because if we look at our 4-hour, we can see that the IWM is finally starting to breach a rising trend line that has been on this chart for a period of months. I've also gone ahead and marked the significant low, the key low that was made back in, we'll just call this early March. And this key low may be what needs to be tested in order for the marketplace to potentially counterbalance or catch itself along the trend in other index products. But IWM so far has been having a lot of range-bound trading, and this range-bound trading has been quite attractive for traders who know that these areas have held in the past and should hold once again. We are not seeing that at this time. So if you think about a trader who may have stepped into this weakness thinking that it was going to hold, and then now it is not holding, the volume and volatility may continue until we get to this more significant key level. And that's going to put us in an area of confluence where not only do we have this key swing low, but we have something like the daily 200 starting to catch up for the first time. So some things to watch. The IWM has been weak throughout the period of the Qs and the SPY rallying and hitting new all-time highs. So if you're watching something to sort of lead a potential bounce, the IWM may be something to consider. Shifting back to crude and the energy market as a whole, once again, the understanding that while crude was a strong trending market, it is often important to have these key targets, as regardless of what the news and other catalysts may provide information for, these levels are often significant as the marketplace is telling us that they are inflection points. And we pulled back 10 years just to show how key this area has been. Now, so far, this pullback may be viable, but I think for the time frame and the understanding that we need to pull back deeper before it can start to catch itself, we do have this previous swing high, the 220 period on the weekly, and the fact that the marketplace is in a poor posture at this time for a bounce. We need to see maybe some strength return to the market in order for this bounce to have any sort of follow through. So something to watch once again. Crude has been selling for a period of a couple of weeks. This is counter the overall trend. And additionally, if we draw a simple trend line connecting the 2 points, we can see this confluence area. A little bit rough overall as we only have 2 connection points, but the idea being this is where trend traders may want to consider taking entries on the larger pullback. So things to watch and see how they react. We're going to start seeing this more and more often if the markets continue lower, as we have been extended in the rally that we've seen, led by our tech sector. And with our tech sector finally starting to pull back slightly, a lot of our other sectors, which have been pulling back for a while, are simply seeing additional selling. So with our tech sector, keeping in mind that this is what got us here to new all-time highs, we may want to also watch this for that sort of trend line bounce. And that's going to be potentially in lower time frame charts, where we want to probably find some significant trend and see if they can start to catch themselves once again, or are we starting to really lose the overall trend? So we have a market in a weak posture this morning. We have some risk off sectors starting to rally based on Friday's price action. Brian talked about this in his weekly market recap. We have XLU, which is broken out and quite an impulsive move with volume. We have staples, not necessarily breaking out impulsively, but holding amidst a weak close on Friday. Let's see, XLY. No, XLV, healthcare. And then healthcare, also mentioned in that video, holding some of its gains on a weak market close. So perception here is that potentially the market breadth, the weak internals, the fact that a lot of key sectors were not necessarily at all-time highs or even holding well on a strong market breakout, We're starting to see basically the effect of that as now our key sector, technology, is starting to roll off. As with most technical trends, if you make a new swing high, and if that swing high is substantial, oftentimes you are looking for the next swing low to potentially carry the trend forward. And just like with every previous market pullback in the SPY, we'll go ahead and shift to the SPY just to show the overall market structure this morning. We've seen reactions off of things like the 20 period, usually after testing the 50. And we've also seen significant highs made, often needing to come back to the 50 period in the case of a correction in the market. So will we see this repetitive trend-like pattern form once again? And more significantly, for our overall trend line, which is going to be holding slightly higher than the 50 period on the daily, I'll be looking more so at areas of confluence in the charts. For me, I have one already drawn, and we're already testing it pre-market. This is going to be a previous strong swing high that led to more of a liquidation break in the market. This was that quick 2-day sell-off that occurred, leading to a big V bottom in the market. That is defining our trend line. We have our significant high. We've tested this area a few times on the upside, which tells me that this area may be respected. And then we have our trend line and this horizontal previous resistance turn support, looking at testing that today. We can also pull up other aspects of indication, something like volume profile, to see that while this area may be of interest based on levels, the volume profile is not super heavy here. So what the market may do is simply sell off a little bit more, looking for higher liquidity and higher demand based on previous volume profile signatures, and then once again try to return itself back above this area. These are some thesis ideas if you're looking for where the market may want to try and correct. And because we're testing that area currently, this is something to keep on watch as an intraday play, but also potentially a short-term swing opportunity. This would obviously need some assistance as a lot of our sectors are in the red at the moment. So whether or not there's a particular sector that maybe changes the tone today, maybe technology can catch itself on the downside. Something like a new sector taking the lead, XLV for healthcare, would be a key sector to watch. Or, if none of this works and all sectors are down and continue to be down, this thesis needs to be sort of reimagined and looking for a different sort of scenario as we are in a poor open and a poor market. So we looked at the SPY, we looked at the Qs shortly with XLK, very similar. And those simple trend lines are going to be sort of our friends today, as we are either respecting them and holding, trying to hold at the very least. And in the case of the Qs, we have actually lost this sort of shorter term trend line and area. We're losing something like the 200 on the 2 hour, apologies there. And then now we have something like a larger time frame, a 4 hour into our daily, to give us some clues as to where this market might react. Once again, same idea with volume profile. Are there some shelves of previous liquidity, previous market interaction and balance that maybe the market wants to come back and test? As we are selling quite strongly, this may be a more volatile attempt to catch itself. And then we have our significant liquidity and previous demand back in the 340 to 345 range. So this is back when the market was putting in this balance zone in time. And hence we often like to mark these areas for future reference. So we shall see how the market opens today and how the market wants to continue this selling pressure. Often the case when you get these big gap downs or big gap ups, usually the buying demand and the selling supply becomes a little bit exhaustive. We can see big spikes in both directions. But if this is true strong selling, you will see a very simple downtrend intraday form, and that downtrend will be less on the I'll say the exhaustive approach. You'll probably see a couple of waves, retracements and pullbacks leading to that slow and steady decline. But if it is more exhaustive, usually they will rush to a key level, something with a lot of previous demand and liquidity, and then have a big spike in the opposite direction, sort of setting up the low for today. So either way, whichever scenario occurs, we'll need to be prepared for both, as this is counter trend scenario right now. We have larger daily uptrends, and we are essentially testing those trends to the downside. Markets need to do this to remain healthy, and usually this occurs when that last breath of the previous trend is starting to exhaust, meaning we need to come back down and find additional demand. So looking ahead into this week, we do have some earnings that may dictate some of this analysis and price action that we're seeing. If I bring up a simple filter for the S&P 100, a lot of these were named in Brian's weekly market recap, but we have the likes of IWM this afternoon. We have one of our first key big tech names, Netflix, not necessarily in the technology sector, but Netflix sort of putting some sentiment into our larger market cap names with their earnings after hours tomorrow. We also have PM, which is going to be a little bit of an odd man out overall in some of the sector and industry analysis. And then Wednesday, similar to what we had last week with UNH, we have another big healthcare name, J&J, along with Coke and Verizon, Kinder Morgan, and Texas Instruments. You know, down the list, we have quite a few more on Thursday. And then we're getting the likes of some of our energy names starting to come out with Nextera. This is kind of an alternate energy play in utilities specifically. But then we have Schlumberger, which is going to be affecting the XLE. So some interesting lineups for the next week. And this is obviously preceding the largest earnings week that we have next week, which is going to be the likes of Microsoft, Apple, and often we see some big heavy hitters in industrials like Triple M and Lockheed Martin. So as this market is correcting, we will see how far do we need to fall before we hit some sort of confirmation of a possible bottom. That bottom does not necessarily have to test all-time highs. Just like every previous swing high, this high could be set for a period of time. We don't know that until after the fact. What we're looking for is good risk to reward, good potential setups based on the sentiment and the directionality of the market, and then using some of our historical levels and trends to understand where the market should do something. Understanding that if it does not, volatility may increase, selling may continue, and the downside may be more aggressive than has occurred in previous history. So all these things need to be taken into account. Market is certainly elevated in a lot of ways. And as we are seeing the likes of the first pullback in quite a while, just know that these pullbacks do not have to be 1 to 2 day events. They can be multi-day, multi-week events, leading us back to much larger corrections in the market. So overall, that's pretty much all I have. I guess last and not least, metals market with the dollar breaking out. You'll see some additional volatility today in silver, which has cracked through the downside with the dollar breaking out. And things like gold, which have had that sort of counter trend rally, giving back some of those gains and just coming back to this very short-term trading range that was set in the form of some sort of double bottom approach. So all in all, let's go into this marketplace with an open mind. Obviously, if the selling is going to continue, we should see a lot of confirmation of levels being broken and a lot of back testing occurring, basically confirming that this is more serious than a normal pullback. We'll see the likes of the technology sector giving back some of the gains. We've already seen Apple hit 150. It is gapping down this morning. We've seen discretionary names like Amazon and Tesla not necessarily holding as well as the technology names. Tesla and Amazon, I believe, are both down this morning, with Tesla showing up in our gappers list. And then a lot of our other sectors, if nothing else is going to take the baton, this is where that selling pressure could become quite intense. So keep your wits about you. Do not think this market has to inflect back to the upside. This could be the start of a much larger sell-off and a correction in the market. So let's go into pre-market prep with that open mind. We have a couple of thesis scenarios to watch on our larger index products. We have some risk indexes and other parts of the market to evaluate. If everything starts to level out, then we'll change the tone and the theme of our analysis. But until that occurs, we need to stay guarded and protective of our profits. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Trade safe today, and stay tuned for Carlos and someone for pre-market prep. I believe it is Norm, but I'm not sure. So stay tuned and we'll talk more tomorrow.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today? Oh, I cannot hear you. Let me make sure it's not on my end.
No, it's me.
Okay, good, good, good.
It's all about me. It's not you. How you doing, brother? I had a good weekend. How was yours?
I had a great weekend as well, my friend. So happy to be here, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the pre-market prep. Hope all you guys had an amazing morning, and hope are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend as well. So, just a heads up, we know, and Norm texted me earlier, just a few
Apparently, we've
minutes
got some
ago.
kind of an echo going on, bud.
We do. Let's
That's the
figure that
first
out.
issue.
All right. Let's. Oh, you're connected on your mic. Let me see.
Oh,
Turn your mic
Los
off. On.
Santo.
Is
There we
that
go.
better?
I got confused for a second because I didn't know you were going to be here this morning. So
Yep,
apologies.
yep. A little bit of change of plans, guys. I start my time off next tomorrow. I was not planning to be here, but things changed, and I'm here today. So let's rock and roll. So, guys, welcome again. Some issue with YouTube, guys. Depending where you're located, you might be able to connect or not. I see some people in the YouTube chat room are saying they cannot view it. It is not on our end. It looks like it's just something with YouTube where it's working in some places and some places not. Even Norm tried it himself. He's getting some kind of
Yeah,
weird
it's not
error.
working for me.
Yeah, he's getting some weird error. It's just FYI, it's just not on our end. So,
But Andrew's in an airport in Peru and he can see it.
right,
So
right.
uh,
If we
who
can, I don't
knows?
know if the people that are commenting that they cannot view it, if they cannot hear us neither. So, if Abby, if
Oh,
you're
they can't
listening,
hear. No, they're not getting anything.
yeah, if somebody could just throw a text in there, oh, you did already, Norm. I see
Yeah.
you did that. Okay, perfect. All right, guys, let's get started. On our gappers list this morning, we have a lot in the red today. I mean, it's just
Yeah, we got a big
interesting what's
down day.
happening. So a lot of talks out there, Norm, about this COVID pandemic. People are starting to freak out a little bit. And we're seeing some of the companies get hit, especially the travel sector, guys. We saw the travel sector last week. All the airlines, just dropping down. We saw CCL also dropping down for the last couple of days, and we're seeing that continuation today. The SPY had a little bit of a pullback on Friday, right? But aside from
Hmm.
that, some of the travel companies been getting hit well before this pullback. This pullback is not as a big deal as I see in the travel companies just sliding downwards here. So we'll see what's going on. What is COVID? Says Homer Simpson. That's a good one. So we'll see. We'll see what's in it for today, guys. A lot in the red this morning. We'll see how this market is going to be. Let's get an overall idea of what's happening today in the overall market, Norm.
Yeah, I mean, Jared did a great job of walking through it, so I'm not going to rehash all that. But we're down 1%, essentially on the SPY and on the Qs, roughly the same, right in there. We have we're just a few days away from all-time highs. We've got this pullback that began last week. As you mentioned, some concerns over COVID stuff seem to be hitting the market amongst other things. Then we've got a bunch of oil stocks on here. It's funny. I had a buddy that I've known, my best friend growing up, that he and I used to talk stocks all the time. And actually, he just texted me. And speaking of, it's kind of funny. He mentioned Friday getting into some oil stocks. I was like, buddy, I'd wait. I'd wait. I hope he didn't. Uh, Oxy was
Yeah.
one that's down 6% this morning. MRO was another he talked about. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. OPEC adjusted some output stuff. And then that on the back of concerns over demand because of COVID hitting those this morning. So we'll get into this.
Yeah, well, definitely going to be an exciting week. It looks like it's gearing up to turn out to be one. So, guys, let's get to it. Let's start here with our gappers list this morning. Let's remove what we had here from Friday. So let's take care of that there. And let's start with a couple of things that are gapping up here. NRXP low flow sitting at 1.9 million shares flow this morning. So far, up 65%, was a lot higher, hitting almost 17 here, 16.99 to be exact. Now pulling back a little bit here, 5.3 million shares traded. Let's connect this so we don't lose power there. There we go. Some good volume there, guys. Pre-market action, very, very active. This could be something. It's a recent IPO as well, looks like. Just opened up not so long ago. It looks like in May or something here. So let's see. Let's see where this low flow goes. Again, it's got great volume right now. It is up nicely. Again, guys, remember, very, very careful. It's 1.9 million on this one. Already trading 5.3 million shares traded. So we'll see where it goes. CYTK, this one.
They definitely, I mean, like you said, it's a very small float, so you got to be careful on that. But they definitely have a catalyst. This is a biotech company that has a drug that apparently they say helps against one of the major issues that causes severe COVID issues. So.
Okay, that could be definitely nice for them. They're getting a nice little pop this morning. We'll definitely keep this one as the low flow of the day so far. We have another low flow here. Let's look at it now. PSAC. Now this one here, it's not looking great. Up 7.2, no volume whatsoever. So again, we should skip on this one. Next one we have is CYTK this morning. They're up 50%, 1.3 million shares traded. Now for the most part, this stock barely gets any volume, guys. If you look at the daily here, under 1.8 million, that's the highest number of volume I see here over the last couple of months. Their daily chart, not the best. But again, they're up 50% this morning, 1.3. Pre-market action, we talk about a good pre-market action. And this one here, although you have volume, it doesn't seem like it's trading very well, right? It's not looking like, let's look at this one here. You see the way these candles are being formed, especially after this drop here. See the way that's connecting a lot more cleaner. So this pattern looks a lot better than CYTK, right? Just to give you an idea, you can't compare the two because one is a low flow, obviously, and this one is not. This one is 67 million shares flow. So it doesn't trade the same. But the lack of volume the stock gets doesn't allow it to have a great pre-market action. We're seeing that here. So we'll see where this goes. The spread right now is not bad, actually. So we'll see. Let's see where that goes early.
Another biotech. They had some positive trial results on a heart disease drug is what I'm seeing there. So
all right, perfect. I'm gonna add this over as a possible, just because these type of stocks are not my favorite. So I'm gonna put them down as a possible for now. I just don't have great experience with the way these trades, but we'll see. Great volume this morning, up 50%, and a catalyst. That could be a whole lot of going on there. All right, Daniel, thank you, man. Happy Monday, BBT. Good morning, Carlos and Norm. Appreciate you guys, you and Daniel, every morning showing some good support, man. Thank you for that. Hope you're having an amazing morning as well. So thank you for that super chat there over on YouTube. All right, guys. So let's see what else we have. FIVN this morning. This one here, not much going on, guys. Volume is extremely light, so I don't think this is a good one. We'll skip on that one, and that's what makes up our gappers list on the upside this morning. Now, on their downside, guys, we have a ton here. So I'm going to look at the top couple of few that we have here. Then I'm going to take it to you, Norm, in the room. Because, again, today's going to be one of those days where you just could watch, your favorite stocks and just see how this market is going to play out here, right? So let's start with CPOP this morning. 11 million shares float. Pre-market action looks horrible, guys. Nothing to see here. Let's move on down. Daily is even worse. Let's not waste time with this one. Today's not a day where you want to have mediocre stocks on your list, right? There's some good stuff that are trending with the market that are moving very well that you can watch. MRO is an example of one that you do not want to watch this morning. I mean, this one is down 6%, 220. Their daily is not great. They do get volume, right? They're pushing some volume around, but look at this pre-market action right now, guys. It's just not clean. I think we can find something better than MRO this morning. So they're down 6.4, but I hope to find something better. NCLH, we got some good volume here, 752. Again, these travel companies, guys, taking a hit, not just recently. They started in early June. If you look at American Airlines, you look at CCL, these companies, and again, and travel is up. I mean, there's definitely more planes in the air than there's been in a very long time. I pass by Newark Airport all the time, and I see the line of planes lining up. But something's triggered in June where things are not looking well, and they've been reacting right to it for a very long time. So I definitely want to watch. Maybe not NCLH is one we had on here. Maybe not that one. Maybe CCL. They usually tend to get more volume, and they do. They have 1.6, and look at the drop this morning, guys, down 5.4. Again, as I mentioned before, getting toppy here all around the same time, early June, just dropping. So I am going to be watching CCL. I am going to be watching American Airlines today. I think these two are really, really good to have on your list and see how things are developing there. Back into our gappers list, CUK. We know it's a different share class of CCL, so we're not going to at that one. TCAT this morning not looking great, guys. So again, no time for stocks that look like this today. I think today we're gonna have some fun this morning. Mara, Bitcoin's down a little bit here. So Mara's down 6%, 127. Not great pre-market action right now. That could get better. We'll come back to it if it does. Oxy dropping down here, guys. I like Oxy. Oxy's a great stock to intraday trade out of all the oil companies. They move very well. They get great volume. So I definitely want to keep an eye on this one this morning. AMC is dropping here. They got 1.2 and just kind of losing some levels of support here. We're at another level of support. So again, the few times we hit a couple of these levels, we kind of stalled a little bit, right? So we had one here last week, last week, I'm sorry, here at 32. We've been stalling it on that one. We're slamming on that against it right now. Let's see if there's a drop there. But pre-market, though, looks very clean, guys. This pre-market action looks very, very nice. It's got great volume, down 6.3. How can you not have AMC on your list today? So I'm going to stop here, guys, because now we're getting into Plug, Riot, United Airlines. We have American Airlines already. I mean, it's just every ticker we trade in the last 12 months, at least half of them or more are here on this list, right? This list is giant today. Norm, anything you like this morning?
Just throw a dart.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, pick your faves. Like you said, these are all things. I mean, there are some individual catalysts here and there. The oil stuff, I already mentioned the overall macro catalyst on that. Obviously, we're in earnings season. I'm not really seeing much earnings-wise. It's interesting, which isn't surprising because Monday morning earnings usually aren't that busy. Let's throw it to the room and see what everybody has. If they have something special.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So
space. Somebody did say that you blew by space, which I was researching some other stuff and trying to figure out this YouTube issue. But that one, God, unreal.
Yeah. Space is a good one, guys. Again, they've been just getting slammed for some reason.
It's roughly half of what we walked into last 1 week ago. Right now, we were talking about it. I believe it was 53 in the pre-market, 54-ish, somewhere in there. That we were the day after the launch. That Monday we came in, and now it's in half.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, if you see this without knowing what actually happened, you think something went horribly wrong with the launch. Right? Like, what, did it crash? I mean, what happened here? Nothing. It actually went very well compared for what they were expecting to happen, right? So unreal. But yeah, definitely this one, guys, 8.3 million traded this morning.
I think this goes to Blue Origin. They're supposed to launch tomorrow. I'm curious if that launch does anything on space. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll definitely see, and we'll see how this reacts here. So space, guys, we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. Let's go down here, starting from Bill D. On the way down, we have Jason. Jason's giving us NEO this morning. Let's take a look at NEO. Good volume right now. I love the daily on NEO. We're losing this nice level of prior resistance and support, so that's good. We can definitely add NEO. Again, today's list, guys, could get really out of control. I'm going to put it as a paso for now. Heading on down, Apple. I think Apple's going to watch the overall market here. They are, again, moving just with the SPY at the moment. They're hitting all-time highs here at 150, now at 144. They got great volume this morning, 2.4. I think this is a good one to watch in place of the SPY, right? If you want to trade the overall market, I think Apple has always been great. They're going to get the volume. Their spread is going to be nice. It's just an overall great intraday trading stock when it is in play. And today it is in play for a couple of reasons. I think the SPY overall and just how strong this thing has been, right? I think Apple has no business being down here, right? The only reason they're down there is just because the overall market, right? Tech has been very, very strong. So we'll see what happens here. Here's Wish. See, now this one, it is down 4% this morning. Pre-market action is pushing some volume around, but not as nice as I would like to see in the pre-market. Now, Wish, we know how crazy this can be. This is one of those stocks that, on a day like today where I have the option to watch other stocks that can trade a little bit better, even though the volume is good, it's down 4%. The daily's not so great, right? I will skip on this one, me personally, right? As I'm making my list. So that's just my personal choice there. If you like it, keep it on your list. But again, I think today we can find a little bit better trading stocks that I prefer. Zila today, they are down 3.4, 6.3 million shares traded. Now here's another one, guys. The daily's not looking all that great. It was fun here as we were pushing up. We came back down here. We continue to slam against this $3 mark here as support. We'll see. Again, they got great volume. Maybe a possible, guys. I'm not a big fan of the daily, to be honest. I think it's just getting a little bit choppy in here. The few times it has gapped up, sold down, gapped up, sold down. Today we're gapping down. Maybe we're gonna sell down again today. That's a possibility. Not sure. We'll throw it on here, but for me, it might not stay there. And DM, now this one, I don't like this one. I don't think it trades well at all, even when it is in play. On a day like today, I'm just not going to watch this one, guys. Look at the pre-market action. If you start looking at CCL, you start looking at American Airlines, Oxy, even AMC, their pre-market action is looking a whole lot better than NMDM. And again, Dan, it just doesn't trade well, man. At least I haven't had any luck with that one. Heading on down, Jose is giving us BB this morning. Let's take a look there. BB, BB's down 4%. We do have shares for sure. Pre-market is not as great as AMC's pre-market. Yeah, this could be okay. This could be okay. We'll have to see. Fubo. Now, Fubo, Jose, let's see what we got here. Fubo, their daily looks nice, guys. Losing some traction here below this level of support over at 26. Down to the next area of support, which is the low from 2 days ago. Also, you see here, you got a little bit of a bull flag pattern that they're showing some resistance and support right around that area, that 2480-ish. So that could be interesting. Their pre-market action not so hot right now. A little bit light on the volume, 150 compared to everything else. Let's put it on here. All right, let's head on down. What else we have? Space. Yeah, Space is good. I got it here, guys. I think that's a good one to watch. It's just, we'll see where that goes. JP Morgan, David from Connecticut. Let's see what we got here. JP Morgan, I like this drop on JP Morgan. This is nice. We're getting to an area of support here that we had back in mid-June. This could be interesting. I think, how are the banks doing? Bank of America, yeah, so they're all down today. Yeah,
interest rates are plummeting,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, pick your favorite one. JP Morgan, I think, looks really good this morning, guys. Let's see it. Usually I like West Fargo, WFC. They all look okay, guys. I mean, they're not, I think Bank of America and JP Morgan both have a nice drop. So I like that there. And they seem to have a little bit better volume. So I'm going to go with you, David, on this one. JP Morgan, we'll keep an eye on that one. But keep in mind all the banks. And you can trade whichever one you think looks best for your end. Here, guys, we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA's been trading very well. Again, very strong. The last couple of days taking a bit of a hit here. Down 1.9 this morning with 283. And this right here, that's great volume for NVIDIA. They normally in the pre-market don't trade heavy volume like some of the other stocks. If you look at their overall volume on their daily, right, it's about 20, maybe 12 million or so. So they got a lower average than regular tech companies that are this big. I think it's worth watching. I might move something else out of here and watch NVIDIA. Let's see. We'll keep NVIDIA on there. Zoom. What is Zoom up to? Zoom doing anything? Pre-market's a little bit light right now. Not even 100,000 shares traded. They're down 1.6. Again, Zoom will be interesting if things start to kind of shut down with the travel a little bit here, as we're seeing, just with the stocks, not with the actual airlines. Zoom can pick up. We'll see where it goes, but I don't think today is really in play, guys. I'm not seeing anything that makes this a good stock to watch this morning. But I see where you're going with it. I think it's a good one to keep an eye on for sure, depending how things move forward here. mRNA has been very strong. I personally don't like this one. If you do, you can watch it. I mean, this thing gapped up nicely on Friday. Possible continuation today. But again, just for me personally, I don't like the way this one trades. 850. I'm going to do a few more.
It's been said in here a couple of times. I've been letting you roll without throwing it in there, but Zoom is purchasing FIVN, which is on our gap up list, and that's given Zoom an actual catalyst today.
Oh, so that's what. So they're purchasing these guys over here. FIVN. Okay, gotcha. All right, so that could be interesting. Let's put that on there because that's a separate catalyst than everything else we have going on here, which is, again, a lot of red on here. Everything is just moving with the overall market. Now, FIVN, we looked at this earlier, not doing a whole lot, not trading very well, but we'll see how Zoom goes from here. And this one could be a sleeper today, guys. I don't trade very well. based on other information here, but we'll have to see at the market open how they react. I would love to see if that's good news for them. They are gapping up 7.8. Can that change as far as volume later in the morning? 208 right now, not a great pre-market action, but anything with a catalyst like that and a big company like Zoom is worth taking a look at. So thank you guys for throwing that out. Thank you, Nora, for pointing it out. All right, guys, let's stop here. Let's look over on our YouTube chat, our friends over at YouTube. What do we have here? Space, we do have on deck AEHR. Let's take a look there. Now, this one's starting to get going, up 35%, 8.1 million shares traded. What is the float on this bad boy? AEHR. What do we have here? Oops. AEHR. There we go. All right, so this one is sitting at 19.7. So again, borderline low flow there. I'm going to add it next to our low flow pie over here. I think we had a low flow down here, didn't we? Yeah, here we go. So we'll add it on here. AEHR. We'll throw it on there. 8.2 right now. Good pop this morning. 34. We'll see where this goes. Pre-market action is developing nicely here so far. Let's give it a little more room to develop there. Fubo we do have on our list, so that is good. Jose, so thank you for that. Heading on down, what do we have here? Zoom, we do have CCIV from Christopher. What do we have going on with CCIV? They got some good volume, down 5% this morning, 512,000 shares traded. I got so many on my list, but again, if you do like CCIV, I think it has some potential here to continue sitting at a nice level of support as well, right? Where the price action is at that 21.69. If you draw a line there across the board, I'm not going to add it to my list, but if you draw a line across the board, you can see a nice area of support happening there. So that could be a good one to watch for some kind of play here as it is consolidating right on this 21.69. So definitely an area of interest for CCIV. BA. Ben, BA has some more bad news. That's the last thing BA needs. It's like they had a good news here and then follow right after by some more bad news. I mean, there's what do we have going on here? They are down 2.8 this morning, 208 and not 19. Again, taking a very nice hit over the last couple of days. I like BA, so I'm going to make some room on my possibles list for BA. I also think with airline stocks dropping, I'm not sure if that's going to affect them a little bit. I think it will because they started dropping around the same time the airlines did, right? So we'll see.
They had a catalyst on that. So
yeah,
it coincided with that, but I think it was primarily wasn't it like a China test or something? No, that was the positive. They've got a Dreamliner issue with some planes, and now they've got another issue.
Yeah, so it's not good news for them. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, guys, 8:52. Let's go over to our community announcement. Today is Mindfulness Monday, Mindful Monday. So, guys, hit a thumbs up for Dr. Katz. He will be joining us right after the community announcement. So make sure you hit that thumbs up over on YouTube as we move forward with the pre-market prep.
All right, quick weekly rundown. Swing trade review with Brian, 2:30 on Monday afternoons here in the chat room. And then Monday night, very busy with technology and onboarding classes. Carlos, Kyle, Mike doing those live beginning at 8 p.m. Every Monday night live. Then Tuesday, Thursday, noon is your trade review with Eamon in the classroom. Got success webinars on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Psychology webinars Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And then mentoring Thursday, you've got Andrew at 11 a.m. and Thor in the evening at 8 p.m. Don't forget to, on Friday, we've now got our crypto in the mix with Jarad, and that takes place 11 a.m. So full weeks these days here at BBT. All right, we've got John tomorrow night is going to be talking about probabilistic thinking and trading. Excellent educator. Tune in for that. Then next week, we're going to have Peter. He's going to be talking about picking the right share size for you. Critical issue of importance there. So check that out next week, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. This Wednesday, 8 p.m., we've got our mindfulness expert, Nada, talking about accepting stress and responding. And then next week, speaking of Dr. Katz, we've got him coming up in a second. We've also got a town hall with him where he'll have two traders from the room and two members discussing their trading journey. That'll be 8 p.m. next Wednesday. If you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day, mark it up with commentary describing the trade, posted on Twitter, tagging at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. Will announce the winner every afternoon in the room and on Twitter, and then all the trades of the day are eligible for trade of the week, which will be voted on by the team over the weekend and announced the following Monday. If you're watching on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24. It'll get you a discount off the intro membership, which is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room. Does not auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Good morning, Doc. It's been a couple of weeks. We had some technical issues, I believe, last week. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. And yourself, Norm?
Nice. I'm doing great. Thank you. Had a nice weekend, ready to get back into the mix.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to talk about multitasking and the good, bad, and the ugly. So take it away, Doc.
Yeah, multitasking. It's an interesting topic. I read a really good kind of research article. Actually, let me get the author's name to give proper credit. Susan, the last name is Broniarczyk. She's at the University of Texas, just by chance. But it really made me think a lot, because multitasking is kind of an inherent part of like the trading process, having to look at a lot of things at once. And her basic premise is that a lot of people think that they're pretty good or great at completing multitasks at the same time. And basically, her research shows why you're probably wrong. Basically, the study looked at participants completing tasks like kind of simultaneously versus doing them kind of consecutively. And basically, the findings are that we're not really as successful as we think we are. And so I wanted to discuss kind of a handful of practical takeaways on really how to think about multitasking that might really be useful just in your general life, but absolutely in your trading life. One of the great takeaways from this was that it appears that we multitask actually often for not the reasons we think we do, but we really do it to regain control. And people tend to multitask due to their feelings of a lack of control. And when there is a lack of control on our part, we want to restore the control. And so when we multitask and do several things at one time, it actually does give us a feeling and a sense that we're in greater control, and that can be comforting. But what happens is, the downside is that we often feel more stress afterwards. Constantly task switching can lead to greater stress and negative feelings, and there's more stress than anticipated. So we actually end up maybe performing worse. So multitaskers are often unaware of the potential negative impact of their performance. People who are low control and feeling a sense of low control, that can result from a lot of stuff we've all been through. I mean, COVID was a sense of things having out of our control. There are a lot of feelings of not being in control that could trigger or precipitate kind of this, or be a catalyst for us trying to multitask more. Then there are people who are more type A focused people who like to have control in their lives, and those who have a high need for control tend to gravitate a lot towards multitasking. You need to be careful, because if you're an online shopper, those folks often kind of are doing 100 other things and multitasking and shopping at the same time. And people who tend to be compulsive shoppers often are multitasking, and this could lead to a lot of problematic behavior. A lot of times people think that boredom is part of the triggers for multitasking, but her research didn't seem to show that. It's really more a matter of when we're feeling not so much in control that we tend to multitask. So it's very important to understand for yourselves personally, when you're feeling that way, that might trigger you multitasking. This could kind of tangentially, you could think, lead to overtrading if you're wanting to do several things at once. And the more you're doing, the more productive you're feeling, even though that's not necessarily that helpful. We can learn to really stop multitasking more by doing what I'm doing, kind of warning people, kind of becoming more aware of why you're doing that, getting a sense of your insight into your own behavior and your own triggers. You want to set up an environment really to prevent kind of those kinds of feelings. We want to master control over things, but it really is prioritization. And so sometimes, like I know I found, sometimes it could feel good to do 4 things at once, but if you're doing 4 things at a B level, where if you're only doing 1 or 2 at an A level, the trade-off may not be worthwhile. Although at the moment that you're doing 4 things, it might feel like you're being more productive. So really improving your performance begins with really adopting kind of a new mindset. And part of this is just really being honest and open and truthful with yourself, maybe recognizing that you're not very good at multitasking, as the author very readily admitted. And so you may need to just, kind of focus on one task at a time. This is a very individual thing, but I think the aspect of what I want to make sure is the prioritization and maybe the self-assessment to really see if more is better when you're multitasking, as opposed to doing one thing consecutively or fewer things at a time. So hopefully that information is useful both personally and professionally for people trading wise, and add it to your little toolbox of things that can kind of help you in your journey in trading.
Well, Dr. Katz, I missed that because I was doing a bunch of other stuff. I'm just
okay.
Kidding. But I'm just kidding. But I will say, first of all, you got some great praise over on YouTube, so much appreciated, and in here. But I want to say this was awesome. Frank from New Jersey here. Multitasking is doing more than one thing poorly. I love it.
Okay, Frank, that's a little bit of a Monday morning downer. We try to have a little upper. I feel your pain there, Frank. Some people can do things well, but I think we overemphasize the fact that we're doing more things, and somehow it's this very cultural thing that somehow more is better. And you really need, especially as you're going on early in your trading journal, making great and solid trading decisions is really important. The number of trades is less important than doing the one thing well and building on that over time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Katz. Have a great week.
Oh, okay, Norm, you be well, man.
Take care. Bye.
Right, let's get to it. I definitely missed having Dr. Katz every Monday, so thank you for that. Mike Kai, thank you so much for the support. Again, give a huge thumbs up for Dr. Katz, guys, and all the information he gives us every single Monday there. So really appreciate your support there. All right, guys, let's get to it. Our list this morning, CCL, we have here down quite a bit, down 5.2, 2.1 million shares traded. American Airlines, I do like both of those quite a bit. Oxy, guys, very active as well. It is down nicely here at 6%. Pre-market action, very active, 436. I think our list this morning looks very good. AMC is a borderline, trying to lose this level here, down over at 32.61 or so. So I like that there as well. We do have shares for short, and I gotta tell you, it has been trading very clean, right? The volume is a lot less than it was over here. Here was just madness. If you guys remember, end of May, a couple of days in June, I mean, the spikes were incredible here. The pullbacks were very aggressive. That has died down a little bit, mainly because of the volume, right? You're not getting an insane number of volume here. You still got to be very careful with it, right? We're still talking about 161 million, right, compared to 289, and over here hitting almost 600 million every day, right? So slightly significant, still an aggressive amount, but not as bad as it was before. So I like this one also. We have space on deck, so interesting how this thing is dropping here, and we have Apple and JP Morgan, one of the banks, as the banks take a hit as well here. So possibles list, we have BA, we have Zoom, we have Nvidia's looking real good as well. CYTK this morning up 48%. I might move this up, guys. Let's see. I mean, I'm not a fan of the daily, but the volume we're getting today, they do have a catalyst. This might be one where we move up as everything is tanking here. CYTK might be interesting. Let's just remind ourselves, or what the stock is, the float is on this one, 66 million. I'm starting to like the pre-market action a little bit more here. My concern is going to be on this spread right now. So I'm reviewing this. It's a little bit wider than what we would like for our strategies. This has to get a little bit better, guys, right? So we're looking at about 11, 12 cents at times here, as high as 15. So this is where we got to be careful. That has to stay really tight as the market opens up there. Also, guys, aside, although this is not a low flow stock, only 66 million, right? So that's pretty good. Look at the way this thing is moving. Some of these candles are $1.50 easily. So you still have to be very careful with the number of shares you take here. Be very, very mindful of that, right? So, but I like what it's doing now in the pre-market. I like what we're getting here. Let's see if that's going to trade well, if that spread is going to tighten up as we get into the market open. So let's keep an eye on that one. We have NEO here, guys. NEO is looking good. Great volume right now. Nice drop on NEO. I mean, there's so many things you can watch today, guys. Today you can really come out with five different type of watch lists, and they could be just right? So no need to force anything or try to match something somebody else is doing, or try to watch too much, right? Don't go crazy. Stick to your 4 to 6 stocks, whatever you're used to watching, whether it's 3 or so. That is absolutely fine. Be very picky today. For example, if you have stocks that all the numbers looks good, the daily looks good, the pre-market action looks good, all the criteria look good, you can start filtering out by the stocks that you have made money and traded well in the past. That is the next filter you can go to. So do not hesitate to go to that. That is a better decision than trying to watch, 10, 20 stocks because they all hit your criteria. That is not going to work well. Okay. All right. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I got way too many. Let me see what I can move down here. Maybe Oxy. Wow. Let's see. We're going to try to get to these levels, guys. It might be. Yeah, let's do levels for these of these here. I'm gonna fine tune them a little bit later as we move forward here in the pre-market. Some of these levels are gonna be very easy, like CCL, because of pre-market action. The highs and lows from the last 2 trading days doing a perfect job up here. So you don't have to really mark anything towards the top. You're gonna mark down here the low of the pre-market over at 1962. Let's slam a level there. Let's go over to the left. Let's see when was the last time we were down here. I mean, CCL taking a huge hit. We're sitting at a very important daily level here, guys. As you can see, great area of resistance, but even a better area of support. Look at the support we're getting here. We got this through December all the way into February. Sometimes even mid-February, we got some support happening there. So that's an important level there that we're bouncing off from. Let's see how that is going to hold up. Towards the bottom, you got a very important level all the way down here, guys, at 1794. You can see the area of resistance here, and now the great bounce that we had within that time frame. Within here, I do see another level I'm going to mark down here at 1878, and I think that's going to do it for me, guys, on CCL. Again, taking a bit of a nice hit this morning and over the last couple of days. American Airlines looks very similar. United Airlines looks very similar. Delta looks very similar. Pick your best airline, your favorite airline. I like American Airlines. I also like United at times. United can trade very well. It's a little higher price, but sometimes when American Airlines is getting all this great volume and being a little unpredictable, United Airlines could be a little more stable. So just keep that in the back of your head there. I'm going to go with American Airlines. I think they've been very good the last couple of days here. Low of the pre-market, 1861, a slam a level there. And then as we move to the left here, let's see, also very similar to CCL. We haven't been here in quite some time. You see some support areas. Look at these candles. Look at the support in wicks that you're getting here, right? As this thing dropped down from 21 all the way to 1817. People obviously found value there and bought this thing up, right? Same thing happened here a couple of days before. So that's looking good there. That is your low of your pre-market. Towards the bottom, we have another great level here at 1787. This is where you're seeing some resistance, right? That can now become support over at 1787. And I think you're set, guys. Above the price action, you do have the highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Now, notice we have a nice big gap here. I want to find a level in between here, right towards the top. I know we can watch 19, the whole dollar number, but we do have an area here, 1931. I'm going to throw it on there. This is not a major level. This is not a, what is this? This is not a 1974. 1974 is just look at the support you're getting here constantly, right? But it is a good one to have, add a little extra, maybe less weight on that one. But definitely that is the next level on the daily that we have here. It's the only next level between that gap there, 1931. Let's look at Oxy this morning. Oxy dropping down nicely, trying to hold on to a level here on the daily, right on where the price, low of the pre-market, or actually the price action, 24. We're kind of wrapping ourselves around that now, 24.50-ish, right? Level there. You can see the nice support that you're getting there. If we were to drop that, you got some very clear levels here, right? 23.34. You also have this one down here over at 22.46. So very clear levels, nice change in direction, right? It's going to give it a little bit of more strength. We do have something right in between here which is going to be not as strong as those two we just added, but it's still worth putting on here. It's going to be 23.93. So let's add that on there. You can mark down the low of the pre-market, guys. I don't see why not. That could play a part in it, but this level here that we're kind of dancing around with, that's going to be a very, very strong, well, not strong, but very key level for Oxy this morning. Here's AMC. AMC towards the downside, guys. We have the low from a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. This would have been Thursday, right? That's the low there. That's coming up. Pre-market low is a little bit higher. We're sitting at 32.45. That low is over around what, probably 32.26, so a couple of cents down. I'm gonna mark down the low of the pre-market, but that low from 2 days ago, very nice there. Definitely keep an eye out for that. If we were to look towards the bottom, we do have an area right on here, guys, 29.16. Let's put one there. You also have 24.39, so a couple of levels there towards the bottom for AMC. Towards the top, guys, plenty of levels. Since we did this beautiful daily here, we do have highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We have the previous day close on there, so I think you're pretty much set as far as level above the price action. So we'll see how this goes. Beautiful pre-market action, guys. Great volume, 1.7 down 7.2. We do have shares for short. AMC is looking real nice today. Here's Space, guys. Space getting a little bit of a push up this morning. Low of the pre-market, 27.75. Towards the top, guys, plenty of levels, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days as we continue to plummet like something went comparably wrong with their launch, which it didn't. Everything went as planned, as they expected. High of the pre-market, 29.48. And then towards the bottom, right, if we go to the left here and we look at the bottom, we are going to mark down clear level here, 23.73. Obviously, great area of resistance. You got some support happening here as well. Here, not so clean. There's not a strong, definite level on here, but if we were to pick one, 26.54 could be a decent one there. And actually, as I move to the left, 26.54 now became a little better because I see a lot of support right on here in April, right there. So those 3 days are supporting right to that number. So that's not bad. That becomes a little more significant level now. So that Space, guys, looking good there. Great volume this morning, 2.1 million right now. Again, trying to climb into the green this morning, down 5.2. Here's Apple. Apple's a good one. Amazing volume, guys. Almost 3 million shares traded. Apple has been insanely strong over the last couple of weeks, really. Low of the pre-market, 143.30, hitting the highs, all-time highs here, setting it at exactly 150. We can move this level from here. We don't need that there. I'm going to slide this down over to 140. So as far as levels, I added the low of the pre-market, 140.69 towards the top, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days and the previous day close, right? So you're pretty much set there on Apple. This is a good one today, guys. It's got great volume. It's going to be probably following the overall market. So take a look at the SPY. This could be a good alternative to a trade instead of the SPY, right? JP Morgan, the banks are all down this morning. I like the way JP Morgan's looks today as far as the bank. Again, normally you don't get an incredible pre-market action out of these banking companies. You know, they're sitting on the New York Stock Exchange. They sometimes do not trade all that well. It could be a little funky at times, but they're all down nicely today. This one's down 2.4. It's got some decent volume for the type of stock that it is. Towards the top, guys, I am going to mark down 150 right on there. Great area of support and resistance as well. Towards the top, plenty, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days right on here. Previous day close, your cover there. And then if we were to look at this level, this pre-market low, this pre-market low is showing some real good support here in April, here in mid-June, a couple of times here in March, looks like. So that's a good level. We have not been down here since February, guys. So let's see where this goes. Below that, we do have 146.44, and then slightly below that, we do have 145.67. Let's see how this thing is going to play out today. Trying to hold on to that 147 where it has found huge support in the past. CYTK, guys, these guys got a catalyst this morning. They're up 44%. They're not a low flow. 2.3 million shares traded. Again, guys, just be careful with the number of shares you take on this. This is 29, this is 28, this is 27, 26, right? These are dollars. Dollar moves here. The dollar candles easily. So just, again, you don't need to take a whole lot of shares. You want to make your money on the move and not the number of shares, right? Very, very important. So here, 29.97, high of the pre-market. If we look toward the left here, we do have a nice area right on here, great area of resistance right over there. That is where the price action is actually playing around with now, and we've seen a couple of areas of support in the pre-market around that price tag. So that's good there. Towards the bottom, we do have another daily here at 26.19. And I think that's pretty much it. We have some more over here. We got some, this daily's all over the place. So I'm really going to be focusing more on the pre-market action more than anything, and the price action when the market opens up on this one. So be careful. Again, just can't stress enough. It is not a low flow stock, but just you want to be careful with this one. All right. That is what we have, guys. A little bit more than usual. Let's run through our moderators lineup today. Let's bring this in. Let's stop this here. No, don't stop that. That would mess things up. Stop this. Resize, and let's bring over here. I'm curious to see what our moderators have this morning. And let's bring this right over here. All right, perfect. All right, let's scroll to the top. Who do we have? Thor is watching SPY, NEO, CCL, Space, Apple, Zoom, and mRNA. Mike is looking at mRNA, Microsoft. Watch list for DEMA is XPEF, Oxy, Apple, and CCL. Jarad is looking at the SPYs and the Qs this morning. CCL, NEO, Apple, and Space. Secondary list, SoFi, AMC, and Zoom. This morning. Eamon likes FSLY, Rocket Mortgage, RKT, QS, secondary list, Ride, XPEF, Disca, and TIGR. Trade safe, everyone. Missing the last 2 days of the week, so a bit tough going to watch and wait. That is what John is doing today. Watch list for Tiffany is CCL, NEO, American Airlines, and also secondary list NVIDIA, Apple, and Space. No IPOs for today. Now that we don't need them, we have a whole lot of action in our place this morning. And Peter is looking at AMD, Space, Apple, secondary list CYTK, AMC, and Zoom. So some pretty similar tickers up here this morning that, again, all these tickers we've been trading and we know them very, very well. So notice how we have a huge gappers list, but all the moderators are picking tickers that, guys, they're not foreign, right? We've seen these tickers in the past. We know how well they can trade. So we got a very nice list there this morning. So guys, if you have not done so already over on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We highly, highly appreciate it. That little gesture does an amazing stuff for us here in the back end. So we appreciate your support if you haven't done that already. Nathan, thank you, man, for the super chat, dropping the $5 bomb. Appreciate you for always giving us amazing support over on YouTube. So thank you for that very, very, very much. So good morning to you. All right. I think we're all set here, guys. We're going to have Brian and Thor join us for live trading this morning. So let's give those guys a big thumbs up as they join us today for our live trading. They'll be on in just a second here. As soon as they are, we will transition over. Here's Brian's list. He's coming in with AMC, Space, Apple, NR, XP, and CYTK this morning. Norm, anything you like, one or two stocks that you really like today, or you just kind of just when you see what happens?
I hate trading on big gap down days.
You mentioned that before plenty of times. I know that for a fact. Yep.
So I'll be super chill.
Yeah.
See if anything happens. See if anything comes to me.
I agree with what you're saying. And by you mentioning that, guys, got to be very, very careful. Again, today's going to be a lot of noise, a lot of stuff moving. You know, moderators are going to be calling stuff out. People in the chat are going to be calling stuff out. The worst thing you could do is have your set of 4 stocks that maybe might not be doing what you like and start bouncing back and forth to, oh, well, let me see what this guy has. Let me see what that guy has. Let me get out of this trade. It's not doing anything. Jump on this trade. I done it, guys. It's the worst thing you can do. So again, patience on a day like today is key. It's going to be a lot of stuff moving that first 5, 10, 20 minutes. Just be patient. It'll come. It'll come to you 100%. I see Thor. Thor is on. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good. Just waiting for Brian to hop on, and then we'll be with both of you guys. Just a reminder, guys, I am off for the rest of the week, this time for real. And Thor and Brian, Thor will be running the pre-market prep with you guys. So I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun with that. And Norm will be in as well. So that should be all good. It's good to get a different perspective on how other moderators prepare for the market open. All right, there is the man, Brian. Guys, trade safe. Brian and Thor up next. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube, guys. I will see you back next week. Take care, everyone.
See you next Monday, brother. Take care, guys. Trade safe.
Hey, Carlos. Yeah, thanks. Good. Have a good one, guys. Keep it green. Good morning, good sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, so got a big red day going on here.
Yeah, I agree with Norm, which is I traditionally do not do amazing on these big gap down days. I think I get in this point to where you don't want to you don't want to just like stay short. It's already extended so much. It makes it hard to go short on things because you're just kind of waiting for the bounce. But you can never underestimate how far things can sell down on days like today. So it just kind of puts you in this like really weird spot. You just everything's outside my pivot ranges, which is what I use primarily for judging my ranges. So we'll have to see how today goes.
Yeah, definitely. Any kind of outsized day, even a gap up day can be a big gap up day can be a little bit more challenging because, like you said, a big move's already been made, so it kind of takes you outside your typical ranges. So so this isn't maybe a bad day to sit back and watch a little bit at the open. Don't have to be a hero every day, but I got
absolutely.
Just looking at my positions right now. I've got some. I actually have some TZA that I bought on Friday because I kind of figured we were going to have a follow through down day today. So probably going to sell those at the open. Sell that at the open. But as I mentioned in my swing trade video last night, and I mentioned it. I said it on Wednesday in my swing trade video that it was time to lighten up, time to go to cash. If you really wanted to short, go short. So yeah, I've done all that. I still have a few swing positions. But this one Willow stock I'm still holding. But other than that, I've got a lot of cash right now, and like I said, I have a bit of TZA in my Canadian accounts. I went short gold miners. Yeah, I'm still holding those calls as well. Yeah, that's probably the one other swing position I have. It's it's pretty long term. It's for January 2022. So I did lighten up on those. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned in the swing trade videos, I really didn't like the. I didn't like the way the transports were behaving. They were selling off while the Dow was going higher. That kind of is flag for me. Transports usually lead the Dow, and the transports were going down. So that was one thing. And then the market internals were were not attractive. We had just a few big cap stocks pulling the indexes higher, with a lot of stocks trending lower. So I was looking at things like how many stocks are trading above or below the 50-day moving average, and we had more trading below the 50-day moving average, and the number of stocks trading below the 200 were increasing as well. So that's a pretty obvious sign that things are really starting to weaken up in the market overall, and it's just a matter of time till the stocks that are pulling you higher are also going to roll over. So space is popping up here.
Yeah, space has been doing a little pre-market squeeze, which is not unusual for space. Per usual, though, its spread is inconsistent during this period. So you got to be careful with space, with risk management, especially in the pre-market, because its level 2 ladder has gaps in it. So you'll have moments where everything will look good for maybe 10 or 15 cents. You'll have 1-2 cent spread, and then out of nowhere, it'll drop like a 15-cent spread or a 16-cent spread. And if you're not careful, you throw your stop order right in front of one of those, and you're going to get a whole bunch of slippage.
Mm-hmm.
SPY's trying to find a little support off of S6 here in the pre-market. It keeps buying up off of 426. Had a really nice volume spike there, maybe around like 849 or something like that. So SPY may try a little bit of an opening morning bounce off of this. If you include yesterday's or prior sessions candle in, we're down $10 from two sessions ago. So that's a pretty healthy drop, and we've dropped into the very bottom of this current value range on the SPY. So if we bounce here, could look for at least a solid opening rally. Maybe. Be interesting to see where it opens.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a move higher at the open. Now we got 4 minutes to the open. How was your weekend, Thor?
Great. Pretty uneventful, actually. Just hung out with the fam mostly. Summer in Florida, so we're just kind of getting our relax on. So I did a little yard work this weekend. So that's about it.
Cool.
Didn't flex the brain muscles too much this weekend. Kind of gave them a break. Sam, yeah, it's a little warm. Could be worse.
Mm-hmm. What's out of curiosity, haven't looked yet. TLT, what's the 10-year doing right now? TLT is up, which means yields are down. Again, that's a concern here, how much the yields are dropping.
Bitcoin's down a bit this morning too.
Yeah, it was not. I looked at the chart of Bitcoin on the weekend. It did not look. It didn't look particularly healthy.
No, it actually. The weekly especially is looking pretty rough.
Yeah, I was thinking
maybe we return to 25 grand or 20 grand.
Yeah, I was thinking at the very least 30 looks possible. Spike on AAL.
We can try. Let's see.
Usually you have these funny spikes around 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah, look at that. 9:15. I don't have time and sales loaded at the time, so I don't have the prints from there. Could have been a late print that came through from an earlier part of the session, or like they had to enter in the print. Sometimes it does that and it completely wastes the chart. It could have been a real big order clearing the book as well, so it's kind of hard to tell. Unfortunately, without my time and sales having the Mark, American Airlines, can you historical L2 that bad boy for me? Ryan 2.0 put it out there. 442,610 shares at 9:25 went through. This is 9:15. Or 915, yeah, 915. So yeah, it was the better part of 500,000 shares went through at 915. So they blasted the book, it looks like. Speaking of blasting, space.
Yeah, space is still going here. Careful at the open. Neo's popping up a bit. Okay, just gonna keep an eye on Neo, keep an eye on space.
On these really extended days, y'all also remember that we can find a pretty good amount of volatility, but also chop here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe a late print then, Mark. But so it's, just keep that in mind. You may get some pretty wild swings at the open. So
Yeah, especially
we're
on
already really
space.
extended. Yeah, especially on space.
It's
But
heavily
yeah,
shorted.
space and
So.
Neo both lit. All
Yeah.
right. Ding, ding, ding,
Okay, here we
y'all.
go.
Good luck.
No positions yet. Neo's dropping. Space is holding on here. Looks like it wants to go. Not trusting it yet. Not seeing anything I'm crazy about. AMC looks like it's ready to break down. Just short some AMC. Just a little bit because because again, it's just still early. It looks like space is
Long
going
a
to
little SPY off of 426.
Yeah, I'm long some space here. $29.50. It's not a great entry, but it looks like it wants to. Kind of looks like it wants to pop. Again, I'm just keeping my
Partial
share
SPY,
sizes
VWAP.
really small here.
Ooh, very generous fill. 426.60. That was very nice of them. All right, SPY bought off of 426 was perfect.
Yeah, that was nice.
Nailed about 3R already on the move. That was a really
I'm
nice
out
move.
Yeah, I got out AMC on that short. That was just popped back up.
All right, I'm at break even here. If it comes back down, I'll bail at the opening price. If it holds here and pushes, then I might be in for this bounce.
Still holding some space. Here we go. Let's see if we can get up, if we can go green on the day. That'd be cool. Get to 30 anyway. Still not, yeah. Yeah, still pretty choppy price action this morning here.
All right, bail on SPY there. I'm going to get out the opening price. That was fun. That was fun.
About two small losing trades for me so far. Probably I should need to wait here. Yeah, SPY's rolling over here a bit. Yeah, we got that little pop at the open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rode that squeeze. I'm glad I got right back out, though.
Yeah, we're probably just going to chop around here is what I'm guessing. Until we can pick a direction. Neo, big drop. AMC, of course, dropping now after that squeeze. Yeah, we're just getting some choppy price action this morning. just like you said. NCLH is popping up here.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying a little long on space. 29.10.
CCL's going. NCLH is going.
Never mind. I don't like the way it's stuffed.
Yeah, Tilray. Just got long some CYTK. It's trading really crazy, but yeah, here we go. Good. Oh, all right. Oh my gosh. Okay, selling. That was nice. Wow.
There you go. Ah, darn it. There goes space. Oh, well.
Oh, it's popping. Finally going now.
Thing is such a pain in the trade.
Yeah. It's just because of that heavy short interest. Still have a little bit of CYTK. So I got a decent entry. It's through 28.60. So we'll, as long as we can hold there. But it's really crazy trading here. I'm out of the rest of CYTK. I don't like the way it's jumping all over the place. It's probably going to go higher here. But just don't got a nice pop on it at first go there. So AMC is selling off. All my initial trades would have worked out if I'd have stuck with them, but I just both of them just had to stop me out there. SPY's popping again.
Well, I got that real nice pop on SPY, so now I'm just kind of hanging out and waiting to see if anything else sets up. That did me pretty good. I'm watching mRNA right now to see what it does. It's kind of topping here under R4. I want to see if it rolls over, if it pops, but for the moment I'm watching that, but not a trade yet.
Watching Neo. Neo looks like it maybe wants to pop up here. Struggling. It's just hanging under the VWAP here.
There it goes, pow.
All right. No, Neo's still struggling a bit. Yeah, everything's super choppy this morning. Just nothing making any kind of clean moves.
Nothing that I'm watching, at least.
No, Neo's just sort of chopping around here. Space after it got to 30 pulled back again. It's just a short squeeze. AMC is looking like it's trying to find some sea legs here.
Piton?
mRNA is heading up. NVIDIA. Oh, NVIDIA's gone green on the day. It's interesting. Neo's breaking down, but again, I don't trust it because it just looks like could have been a good short off the VWAP, I guess. SPY. SPY back at low of day here. I just shorted some bit of Neo. Just gonna cover some there at 40.54. Was kind of a scalp more than anything. It's gonna squeeze back up again. Yeah, everything's super choppy. Wow, NVIDIA's gone green on the day. NVIDIA. I think it's trading post. It trades post share consolidation this week, so it's probably got some buyers into that event.
I still got nothing. Everything's too far away from all of my all my pivots and stuff that I normally use, so I'm just kind of hanging. Oh, I could have gotten Microsoft maybe. Too late though, missed that.
Microsoft is
It's choppy though.
Yeah.
Oof.
Everything's really choppy. It's not like I said. Microsoft does look like it's going to break out here, though. Look at NVIDIA go. Wow. Should have taken it when it just started to go green there.
Trying a little long on space.
Yeah.
Got in at 29. See if it squeezes
mRNA.
again.
I see that. I see mRNA has been also showing up on the scanner here. Wow. Holy cow. Has it ever popped? Yeah, it really wasn't down very much at the open. They really came in there after that.
All right, partial on space at the opening price. Just buying low, 2-finger method on this
Yeah.
one. See if it gets back through the opening price. If it stuffs here, I'll get out if it comes back to 29. Yeesh.
It's short AMC again, just to be in the game here,
Be a part of history.
be a part of history. It's definitely looking a little weak. It just rejected from the 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart. So
I'll be right back.
okay. Yeah, AMC is definitely in a strong downtrend. It's been rolling over for about over a week now. We'll see what it does here. Again, it's heavily shorted, so it's kind of gets these squeezes. Well, so far CYTK has really kind of made my morning. Neo's popping up here, so his space is squeezing again. Wow, NVIDIA is just on fire. Roku's gone red on the day too. Yeah, NVIDIA and mRNA, those are the big dollar stocks were in play today for sure. Piton is opening, or at least what's going on with Piton? Yeah, look at it go. Okay, that was the first time I actually saw it on the scanner. Yeah, there is a private message function. If you want to try to PM one of the traders that aren't moderating at the time. Generally, if someone's moderating, don't really like getting questions. Space is looking like it wants to go green on the day.
Yeah, just partial right here at $30 on space. I got long at 29.
Nice.
See if we can get this thing to traverse.
Yeah. SPY is still is choppy around the this 420, 425, 426 area. Still trying to figure out which way it wants to go. Yeah, yeah. Fix was really moving up yesterday or Friday, I should say. There goes space. It's gone green on the day.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Still short a little bit AMC here. So we're at, we seem to be at, what are we at, R1 on space now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in just under S3, so I'm looking for my S3 to R3 traverse. So I've got a partial at S2 and then a partial at the daily level at 30. And now I'm holding out for R3 for my big drop here, which is coming up way faster than expected.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to get there.
All right, we're going to go a little out here at 30.50. Wow, that was a really just great candle.
Yeah, big candle move there. SPY's rolling over here. There goes CYTK again. Yeah, space is still squeezing. We're at R2 now, eh?
My stop on my entry, I was in around 29, and my loss was it was the moving average. What was it, the 100? I believe. So basically, like I ran a fairly wide stop on it. Space gets a little crazy, so you got to run a pretty good stop on it.
SPY rolling over here. It's at low of day and heading lower by the looks of it.
That is an interesting decision they made. I mean, as sold down as Spice was to open pre-market, I would have honestly expected a lot better of a bounce at the open, and then like a little bit more consolidation. I'm surprised to see it only consolidate for 15 and then head lower. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at Apple here. Apple's we'll find I think we'll find a bottom at some point.
Come on, baby.
I don't know if it's going to get to 141. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but maybe if it loses this 142, 141.90. Again, I have to keep an eye on the SPY.
Eye on the SPY.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see if we can get there, but
Chuck, why do we watch The Spy? We watch The Spy because it's a correlating ETF. So basically, the exchange traded fund, SPY, is a entity that's basically made up of certain amounts of stock, basically from all over the S&P 500 listing. So as the market in general on the S&P goes up and down, the value of the correlated ETF goes up and down. So if you're watching a stock that is listed on the S&P and you're looking for correlated market movement, then by watching the ETF, you can kind of get an idea. It's not a listing where people are listing stock. It's actually its own fund that people can kind of trade on. They have leveraged versions of SPY where it moves twice as fast, 4 times as fast. They've got all kinds of different ETFs that you can utilize. But we watch the SPY because basically, FANG, which is like Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, right? As those 4 big main ones move up and down, it highly influences the SPY. So we can kind of use that to gauge not necessarily if the market's going up and down, but we can certainly see when the market is stalling or going into resistance or having some kind of an issue, right? That's why we watch.
yeah, I mean, generally speaking, the rising boat floats all, or a rising tide floats all boats. So if a market is going up, generally speaking, if, unless you've got a stock that's really in play on news or something, um, the stocks are going to rise and fall with the indexes.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Do it. So close.
We're down to S4 on AMC.
Dang, isn't that the villain in Ray? I don't know. I haven't watched Ray yet, although I want to. Is it bad that I keep asking my kids to watch the new Disney movie? They really don't care, but I want to watch it.
Just covering some AMC here at R4. 31:18 filled. Maybe getting a bit of a bounce here on the SPY. Take some Apple long here.
That was real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that was a pretty strong downward move there.
Yeah. I'm long Apple, 142.40.
Oh boy. Apple time.
And Apple time. Let's see if we get a bit of a bounce. Looking at this 142.80 level, that's the 9 moving average. The SPY is bouncing a little bit here, so hopefully that helps the trade. Yeah, exactly. I do. I use the 2-minute chart. I'm not liking the way Apple's not bouncing here after this second candle on the 2-minute chart. So I'm going to get out of it. 142.30. It looks like it's going to have some more downside here.
Add on space. Came back and hugged the 9 moving average a few times, so I went ahead and added, just using $30 as my new break even. Free roll style.
Wow. BA has really been selling off here. Holy cow. Yeah. Yeah. Apple's really trying to was trying to bounce here, but the SPY is SPY might be trying to hold this level 424. Still waiting for AMC to break this S4 level, this 3114.
Well, my ad was looking really positive there for a moment, but we just crossed the 9 and now we're beating up the 20. So I might be done. If it loses $30, I'm out. Well, $29.90 technically.
Yeah, look at the SPY. The SPY is not helping you out there.
I'm hoping it was going to hold the red to green line, previous day's close, and the level. I think, was it low and close, I think? Yeah, previous day's low and close right here. No volume spike at the top here on space, so I might still be okay on this one, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah, on
Probably
mRNA. Oh, yeah, look at that. That was...
there we go.
Yeah, nice.
Go, 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 go.
Gosh,
Go,
man,
go, 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 go,
news,
go,
eh?
go. Ha filled. There we go.
Nice, breaking to a new high while SPY's dropping.
Yeah, full traverse. S3 to R3.
Wow, right through 31.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice one.
Yeah. Awesome. Thor believes. I believe. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, brother. Ryan. I really wanted to get that traverse today, so now I'm excited. I've been really trying to refine these strategies, so this one was really nice. Yeah, no doubt, Jared, right? Hey, if you want volatility, we got volatility, right? I mean, it'd be nice if it made sense.
Yeah.
who's it's and what's it's galore there, Jared? We gonna go Little Mermaid today.
Gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah. Lou, why is Spy suffering that much? It would really, I hate to say, it would be hard to call this suffering. You know what I mean? The Spy's, trading up in 420 to 430 area, 50 area. I mean, that's pretty stinking high. I think Brian, myself, and quite a few others, we've been looking for some kind of a correction because the Spy has really just been more or less like straight parabolic for how long? Let's see.
Yeah. I'm
I'm gonna call it a year. Can we just call it a year to be safe?
Just getting out AMC.
Since Brian is out AMC since March of 2020.
Looks like it's going to squeeze a bit here. Yeah, I mean, this was I put this on a bit of a number one. There's I think a bit of a correction going on. Number two, I think people are there's some concerns out there. There's concerns about inflation, which has been coming in hot. There's been concerns about how much money printing's been going on with the Fed, and whether we're just creating a giant bubble. And there's, I think, generally there's some concerns out there about the coronavirus kind of making a bit of a comeback in some countries, which is going to hurt global growth. So, yeah. So I think it's a number of things that are just starting to weigh on the markets a bit, and like Thor says, I mean, we've had such an incredible run up. I mean, without really a significant correction, it's just it's unusual, and it's in part due to the low interest rate environment that we've had for such a long time now, and really like the TINA trade, right? There's no other alternative for money, so it's been really driving the markets higher.
TINA trade. I love that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess 70% against what? You're right. But I think just generally, I mean, if you hear stories from other places, I think Peru is actually one of the worst places. So you're not going to go. I have to stay away from Andrew for a while. He could be bringing the echo virus back.
Got that Delta variant coming.
Yeah, he's probably carrying the Echo one.
All right, a little more out on space at the daily level. 3130 down to about 15% of my position. So there's not much else I can do with this thing. Maybe just put it on a trail, and I'm going to stop out of it probably whenever I lose like the 20 EMA probably held the past couple times it's tested. So if we lose the 20 EMA, I'll probably bail.
You're using 1 minute chart or 2 minute chart?
1 minute in this instance.
Okay. I'm glad
so
I got
yeah,
out
9 on the 2 minute chart. So I could use the 9 on the 2 minute chart in the same way almost. Because it's been back testing basically the 9 on the 2.
Yeah, well, you look at that period of consolidation between sort of 948 and 1002. It just went sideways until the candle hit the 9 moving average, and then literally it lit up right off that. On space. So getting a bit of a bounce here on the SPY.
I disagree, Brian. I'm going to, Eamon's a cyborg. I think he's going to live forever.
That's why they call him AI man.
AI man, that's exactly right. It's already in the name.
That's funny.
That should totally be my thing. If my name was Eamon, I would totally start rocking that.
Totally,
AI
yeah.
man. Call me AI man. There he is. AI man. Well, let's see. Not bad.
I'm going to try a bit of a short here again on AMC because it's just banging its head on the VWAP. So 31.90 and a really tight stop here. If it gets close to 32, I'll stop out on it. See if we can get another rollover again here on AMC.
I like your style.
Mm-hmm. I'll cover some. I'll cover half here, 31.75. Just to lock in some profits. It is trading above the 9 moving average right now, so it's it may use that as support.
I'm with you. I got short on that pullback. So I'm short 31.80 something, 85. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look at you. Look at you. Partial.
Yeah.
I just used the stop of my candle at 31.85, stop loss 31.91. That was amazing.
Yeah, basically on this one, it's a bit more of a heavy trade here.
What a good call, Brian. That's why you're the prophet of profit, let me tell you.
Well, good. VWAP is always a good place to go short.
Absolutely. There's a value area just under 32 as well. So you have previous daily level, pre-market low, value area, VWAP. And you're right, it was respecting VWAP the whole time, back testing it, couldn't do anything with it. I really like that.
Partialing 31.50 here. There we go.
Yeah, me too. A little more out.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right.
All right, at break even. So if it comes back up through the moving averages, I'll bail.
Wow, space is looking like it wants to. Yeah, space is looking like it wants to break out again here.
Playing AMC short and space long. I must be infuriating Wall Street bets right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. Wow, space. Funny how that's really getting squeezed today here. Amazing, just amazing. Yeah, volume's coming back in on it too on space. We got R4 is up around 31.80.
Oh, that's funny. I just realized that AMC trade I took using the 2-minute chart because I had switched over to look at the 2-minute chart when I was talking to you. So my entry is at the new 2-minute low, right at like 31.85 when it went under the body of that 2-minute and then it pulled back.
Yeah.
Made the 2-minute low and then
Yeah.
pulled back. I went short. Boom. I mean, it's so good.
Crazy. Nice. So we'll see if it breaks down any further. We might end up chopping in this range, but I'm hoping to get a
I'm feeling
move
it.
back down here. Yeah.
Got some pretty strong liquidity at 31 and 30. It could happen.
It could. So right now the SPY is basically using the 9 moving average as resistance, but we are kind of flattening out here. So we might be finding an area of support on the SPY. Space trying to squeeze again here.
I'm going to go ahead and take my space off the table. I think it can still go from here, but I'm only carrying 10% left. It's been chopping for a while. I just don't really see the advantage to holding it unless I intend to add, which I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Got better than an S3 to R3 traverse, so loving that. So now I'm just going to babysit my AMC short here and see if it drops more. If not, I'm done. If this comes up and stops me out, I'll definitely be done for the day.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think AMC is going to, or I think Space is going to squeeze again here. It just looks, but like I said, it's been hanging around this level for a while. That always makes me a little nervous. There we go. Well, almost. It tried to get through 50. It's really having some challenges here. Yeah, SPY is using the 9 moving average as resistance, and we're heading lower again here.
I'm just hoping Peter's trading AMD right now.
Yeah, what's AMD doing?
It did a nice little sell off at the open, consolidated, and then broke. It's done
It's
done a full traverse already. I mean, it's done a S4 to R3. I mean, it's a big move. Peter is not. Oh, Thor's sad.
Oh, Peter. Wow.
Peter must trade AMD.
So sad. Yeah, I mean, it's NVIDIA and AMD are the only things that are green in my sort of 40 or 50 stocks that I kind of watch. Big watch list.
Piton's been ripping all day too.
Yeah,
which is interesting. I can't trade. I struggle with Piton, but it's been going.
Yeah, Piton's up, still going. Is there news on Peloton? It's kind of strange that it's going up. TLT is going up, which means yields are going down more. ZM. So Zoom
That's actually a good point. Piton's probably a COVID trade. If everyone's getting all, weirded out about the Delta variant and all that, people might be thinking Piton, people are going to go back home. People are going to stop going to the gym, which means Piton's going to start selling bikes again.
Possibly. I'm looking at Zoom. I'm looking at Zoom video, and that was a COVID trade, and it's down.
Well, Zoom's acquiring somebody today. I forget who.
Okay.
They're buying some other smaller streaming service.
Okay.
FIVN. Thank you, y'all. They're acquiring 5.9. Well, you got to think, Matt H. As with anything, when you're acquiring a new company, you're acquiring that company's debt and you're spending money to do it. So, generically, as complicated as the market is, it often boils down to money and not money, right? So even for a strong company, people don't like to see them spending money and bringing on, other companies. So it could be interesting.
Yeah,
Get a little balance here.
usually the acquirer or the one who's acquiring is stock trades down, and usually the one that's getting acquired is getting bought for a premium, so it trades up. Doesn't always happen that way, but it's generally a good rule of thumb. So that space is just hugging that nine moving average on the 2-minute chart right now. It's just bouncing off it. Apple's trying to hold there. Apple did drop below the 142 level. There goes space. Space is blasting off again.
Of course it did. Oh, well.
Yeah, I'm out AMC as
I like
well.
that money.
Started to rip higher here.
Cut the rest of my AMC position.
Yeah, NVIDIA's breaking out through 750. Wow, there's definitely some stocks that are in play here. Yeah, the Qs are kind of finding a bit of a bottom here. PA's is looking like it's trying to find a bit of a bottom here around 205. Well, I'm not seeing anything. I'm flat right now. I'm not seeing anything I'm too crazy about trading.
Yeah, same.
Kind of feel like once NVIDIA goes split, I might play that to the short side. Post.
When does that happen? I forget.
I think it's the 21st.
That could be interesting.
Oh, tomorrow? Okay. It's tomorrow. So it's the 20th, I think, right? It's the 19th today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Space is going through 32 now. This has been one crazy run, I'll tell you. on space. Oh, look at AMC
Yeah, I just
squeeze
ran out
now.
of shares on it. It just wasn't worth holding it.
Yeah.
I just got too low on shares.
Yeah.
But I'll take it.
Oh, AMC squeezed back up there.
Yeah, Brian, it's a little crazy, isn't it? He was talking about it just like the AMC came to S4 within about a penny of it, and now has gone on a big squeeze. It is pretty amazing how magical slash scary some of these levels are. Yeah, Jack, there is a catalyst for NVIDIA. Tomorrow they're going to be doing a split. So some people are probably making some decisions pre-split. Either buying in because I think it's a 4-to-1.
Yeah.
So,
It is a 4-to-1.
so there could be some people buying in, hoping to, buy in now and get more for it. I don't know how that necessarily benefits.
Yeah, I think it's just basically everybody, typically what happens when a split's announced, especially like on a company like, well, Apple just went through one, and of course
Yeah.
NVIDIA's going through one now. So everybody, even though the company, the fundamentals of the company, the company's value doesn't change at all. It's there, people buy into the news that it's splitting. But if you look at what happened to Apple after that new, it did the same thing, ran up into the split, and then basically sold off after that.
Mm.
So it's sort of a buy the rumor, sell the news. The theory with splits is that by lowering, so for a 4-to-1, so in theory, NVIDIA, if it goes out at 750 today, it should open at a quarter of 750 tomorrow, whatever that works out to.
With 4 times the shares,
Yeah,
right?
190. Yeah, your shares should be
Yeah, I
worth
had a
190.
position when Apple split. I was excited when it split because I was like, man, now I got more shares of Apple. And then it sold off for like a month afterwards. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I think it's doing all right now, though. It came back.
Yeah, no, it came ripping back. AMD just pulled back to the 9 moving average after kind of getting extended from it, bounced right off it. Yeah, Apple looks like it's trying to hold this 142 level. I'm going to take Apple, a little bit of long Apple here. It's gotten through the 9. It's sort of around the 20 moving average right now, but it's looking like it's trying to get above it. So we got the VWAP here at 142.83. SPY is trying to find a bit of a bottom and might have actually put in a double bottom here on 2-minute chart. We're through the 9 and on the 20 now is with the SPY as well. Maybe a 920 trade on space. We're back at the 9 moving average right now. If it actually loses the 9 and comes back down here, it might be good for a bounce. Somewhere around 31, 35-ish if it gets there.
Well, good sir, it's 10:30. I think I'm going to call it. I'm not seeing anything else I want to get in. I've had a really solid morning, so I don't think I'm going to throw any more cash at the market. I hope everyone else had a good morning. Brian, I know you got some good stuff, man. So
Yeah,
appreciate it, especially that you got that nice little sweet call you made out that I got some money on. So I'll take that.
Sweet. Yeah, and now AMC's going the other direction. So good deal. Well, always fun trading with you,
Always.
Thor. And you had a great trade on space.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll talk to everybody later, and I'll see everyone else at 1.
Have a good one. Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
Cheers. Bye. All right. Well, Apple's space or the SPY did not follow through on that little pop, but we're probably going to chop around this level is what I'm guessing, since we've kind of established an area of support here. So we'll see what it does, what we do on this bit of a pullback here. AMC is looking like it's going to squeeze people here. DKNG, you're right. It's flirting. There you go. It's green. DKNG went green on the day. Wow. NVIDIA really just something on fire. Should have figured that. What else? BNTX seems to be popping up on the screen here, on the scanner. It's going higher. Yeah, what is X doing? It's not seeing it on the scanner anywhere. Oh, X looks like it's, it's kind of come back up to fair value anyway. Yeah, mRNA was really a good stock. Wow. So it's over 300 now. Okay, so watch. Space is just losing the 9 moving average right now. Let's see if it pulls back to the 20. Yeah, I shall, Jared. See, it's it's 7:30, so 10:30 Eastern. Everybody out there on YouTube, thanks for joining us today. Hit the like, subscribe button. Always appreciate that. And thanks for joining us this morning. It was a bit of a rocky morning. We kind of figured that was going to be the case, especially when you get either a big day with its gaps down or gaps up. It's always a bit of a challenge to trade the open, but did manage to get 1 or 2 good trades off, so just had to be a little patient. So space is coming back here to the 20. Might be a good entry somewhere around here. So I'll take a bit of a long there. So don't forget, join us again tomorrow if you haven't decided to commit to a membership yet. Lots of education in the room and support. So if you do decide, have a good day, everybody, and we'll talk to you all probably tomorrow. Bye for now.